occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Hey, welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for a while. So it's kind of an evolving show. We've been doing a panel discussion, but one thing that's been consistent is a focus on the 2A, everything about it, and sharing that. So we're about to hit the road again and do some of that. So got a bunch of people joining in tonight. I don't know how many people are out there. I asked before how many people are watching. So we never know on YouTube unless you say something. So shout out if you're out there. And it turns out my, I guess my thing doesn't refresh. I have to go in and refresh it every once in a while. When you guys that run it through the duck here, do you ever go up to the top and click on the little thing and then have it view on YouTube and open the YouTube video through duck? Or am I the only one that does that?
I never have.
I never have.
Let me see if I can screen share what I'm talking about. So if I bring this in, oops, add this to the stream, right? If I'm talking about going up here and then click on view on YouTube, right? So that's how I've been opening the YouTube thing. But I think people have also said that, how do I get rid of this now? People have told me that my thing freezes or whatever because I'm like, oh, I got 5 thumbs or whatever, great. But when there was like 24 thumbs the other day. So anyway, I'm just wondering if maybe they send me to a dead link or something. But I'm a non-refreshing link. Anyhow, thanks for joining.
I've had that happen lately too, where I'll be watching a chat and somebody will say it has 12 thumbs and I'm only seeing 5. And I didn't used to be that way. It used to keep a running total, but anymore I keep having to refresh my screen for it to update.
I've seen it happen just in the rate without using the duck, just using YouTube Live, just a single person saying like, oh, I got 6 people watching and there's, I show 26 watching being a viewer,
Okay, so maybe that's just a glitch they're doing. And this is really the time of year when they should be done with all that kind of stuff usually. Anyway, so we got Gary jumping in from Kansas. Thanks for joining.
Sorry about that. Thanks for the invite.
You bet. Dead Horse jumping in from Utah. Thanks for joining.
Howdy, thanks for having me.
And then Tennessee Gun Guy. I'm not sure where you're from.
Tennessee.
Oh, okay. So thanks for jumping in. So this is your second time joining the show ever?
Yep. That it is.
I gotta leave myself in the room. All right, still in here. So yeah, thanks for joining. And let's see. So I'm not sure when to start the numbering sequence. I was thinking about starting it to be episode 900 at the rally or something, but I should probably start numbering them better as the tour starts, because I am thinking about trying to document the tour. The Gun Show Loophole Tour is what I call it when I get out on the road, documenting it, better each time. So I guess some of that stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. Otherwise, I'm hitting the road. So if anybody wants to chat about that, chat about the rally, chat about this thing called Red October, which is coming up and used to be in Utah, but now it's going to be in Vegas. And then this thing called Wanamaker's Gun Show. It's coming up in Tulsa on the 9th. And then actually anything that might be coming up along the way. So with that, I don't know if anybody else has anything else to chat about today, but with all that being thrown out there as a smorgasbord or a buffet, anybody wants to dig in anywhere?
A lot of people I don't think are aware of what Red October is. It used to be down in St. George, Utah every year, but yeah, I don't know why they moved it to Vegas. I guess for more people to show up, I'm guessing.
A couple of reasons. So you're right. It started, I guess, in 2016 in St. George. And the guy that started it is, from what I understand, a competitive shooter and a Kalashnikov enthusiast, and wanted to do a competition for the Kalashnikovs specifically because it's kind of handicapped in a standard competition because of mag changes and stuff. when you have a platform that's just different, it can do different things better or whatever. So there was always advantages or whatever to having like an AR or something. So Honda just jumped in from Colorado. Thanks for jumping in. So when they started the thing, it was because that guy, and I'm going to forget his name. I got it written on a piece of paper here, but I don't have it right here in front of me. But the guy, I want to say Brian, who started it in Utah and St. George, knew or like was affiliated with that range. So there's two reasons. One, it got bigger. It got, I guess, twice as big basically every year so far. So it's gotten to where it's big, but also, so that means bringing a lot of people to Utah, and most of the people are staying in Vegas anyway. But there was also something going on at the range, at the Utah range this year. So it was sort of like, it wasn't going to happen anyway, and it had to happen somewhere. And it was as good a time as any to move it to Vegas, it seems like. Does that make sense?
I didn't know if it what the reason was, but I saw that Rifle Dynamics was promoting it pretty hard, so I wondered if they became one of the main sponsors.
Yeah, well, they kind of took
it to Vegas, or
so they took over the shoot, let's say, and then the guy who started it all is taking over the competition side, and the competition is fairly intense, or I don't know what the word it would be, but it's like.
It's like a run and gun for sure. It's like,
oh yeah, but I mean, they're taking it very seriously. It's not like, I don't think it counts for points on some IEPA tour or something, but it's certainly taken seriously. So some of the feedback I've gotten from different people chatting about it now is that one, like some people take it way too seriously, and that others are like super stoked that they're taking it so seriously, that it's not just a big blow off kind of a joke. But at the same time, from what I understand, like you can kind of show up and just have fun. You don't have to be into the competition hardcore.
I bet there's going to be a bunch of YouTubers and stuff there, huh?
Oh, yeah. They've been going for like 3 years, so it's definitely been a YouTube, Instagram event, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd say that there are going to be some that are there, but I don't know if it's that big of an event to where it's going to draw YouTubers from across the whole country type of thing.
Oh, no. Just the people in California and Vegas and Arizona.
Yeah, just more local people and stuff.
But that's a lot of people. It could draw Salt Lake City, everybody in Arizona. It could draw California, a big chunk, everybody in Nevada. So, and that's just people that can drive to it. And that's a lot of stuff. So it'll be I think they said for 350 competitors, and then all the people that show up with competitors for a competition. But in addition to that, if you look at it, I should grab up a map. I suppose I'm not doing a good job, but I'm not really getting paid. But if you look at a map of that range, the Pro Gun Club, it's called, it's a sizable range. It's where the Antarius Alliance does their shoot on the week, a couple of days before SHOT Show. And it's huge. So it's like one bay is a competition, and then it's like manufacturers with their stuff. So you can take a look and pull triggers just like you would at Media Day at the range, except you don't have to be so high to enter. You can just show up. You can just pay the entry fee and show up. And then it'll be like a lane with competition, or maybe 2 bays with competition, and then like 2 bays with products. And so somebody's got some rifles there, and you want to be able to pull triggers on them, or somebody's got triggers, you want to see what they're like in rifles. Of course, it's all Kalashnikov stuff for the most part.
Yeah, I think Forgotten Weapons and In Range TV, those guys do that shoot, don't they?
Probably. So
because they're
Carl likes to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's his bag, right? Is doing what's the word I'm looking for? Not the most current weapon systems, run and gun kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Have fun with it, and actually put them, and not just shoot them to shoot at the dirt, but to actually do something with them. And I was just watching some of the Instagram stuff with I think it was Instagram. I don't think I was watching YouTube too, of the people running. So it's a 2-day event, right? Saturday and Sunday. So it takes some time to set it up. It's pretty elaborate. And then of course there'll be 350 competitors in 2 days. So that's a lot of shooting, right? So there's going to be range safety officers and score people, and the people that are necessary to make the thing work. And a lot of those people are there making the thing work because they enjoy it and they want to be part of it. So they want to shoot it. And so they shoot it today. and tomorrow, I guess. So there was some footage of the people, the range people shooting it today, and it's definitely like you say, running gun, like they're running around. They've created barricades or some kind of bridge or something, and then it's a costume thing. So because it's near Halloween, I guess. Plus, it's just their tendency to do that kind of stuff. I think having fun with it. They dress up, so even the people,
You'll see, rice paddy hats and a lot of Vietnam era clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm really looking for it. And then, like I say, there's a swap meet, so there'll be a bunch of stuff for sale, so like just individuals selling to each other, kind of like a gun show without the guns, and food. And then they'll shut down at 3. No, I think it said that. I'm trying to remember so much stuff I've been reading. I think it was the swap meet starts at 3, but then when the whole thing shuts down, they stop pulling triggers. They open the bar, and then it's just like a party all night. So that's the part of it that's kind of cool. So it's in Vegas, and it's it's a get together for gun people at a place that has a clubhouse. So yeah, once they stop pulling triggers, then they can start popping. I don't know what you say, open beers or whatever.
You're taking your van for this trip? You should do a video of your van, how you have it set up for going on a long distance multi-day trip. And I'm not sure if you probably already have that, but like do one for this trip,
No, I have done them, but yeah, it hasn't really changed. But at the same time, I'll definitely. One of the things I want to do is get ahead of myself, so I'm thinking about that stuff, because it's so easy to like, I need to be somewhere 12 hours from now, and just dig in and then not realize you drove past something really cool that you could have just stopped and took a picture of, and it's like 8 hours to get back to it, so it's just never going to happen. And doing something like a tour of the van, like if I don't know, like let's say I stop, it's like opportune, and I can stop in front of that pyramid. It's a Bass Pro now, like that pyramid in Memphis. I think it was sports, and now it's like a Bass Pro. Like doing it in the parking lot of that place as a backdrop, instead of just some trees somewhere. Like that's the kind of stuff I'd like to try to plan out a little bit. But yeah.
Do you have your route all picked out and stuff?
For the most part, I'm going to try. And if I had my way, I would do it in a much longer time frame, because that's 6,700 miles I'm putting on the van, 99 hours of driving. So it's going to be 23 days. Ideally, it would be like, is he not being? Is his mic not working? Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the internal. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't even looking at those. Watching the other side of the chat there. I'd like to spend more time. Since I can't spend a lot of time, I tried to come up with reasonable jumps, like 8-hour jumps, but I'm going to kind of play it by ear. So I have a route, but is the word itinerary? Like I don't have a set itinerary, because there's just too much stuff that's potential, and I don't know where I'm going to be at noon, or within business hours, I guess, where that window is going to be. And that's the toughest part, is you try to get somewhere. Getting there is one thing, but getting there in business hours, then you got to deal with traffic and stuff, and sometimes it's better to get to a town in the middle of the night and just get through the town if I'm late, or if I'm not trying to get somewhere, then maybe hit before the town. So yeah, I've got a basic route. Vegas to kind of 40, I guess, for a long way. I'm not looking at a map, but wherever, I think in Oklahoma City, you start kind of veering south, and instead of going up into Springfield and across to Illinois and all that, I'm going to go through Memphis and Tennessee, and that's cheaper gas, and I don't have to hit Illinois twice. And then come up Virginia into DC, come up out of DC after it's over to Detroit, and just to see Patriot and see Detroit again, and then go to Chicago. There's a museum there. So first I'm going to be able to hit the Virginia NRA Museum, right? So the main NRA Museum. Go to the Art Institute of Chicago Museum, has a gun exhibit that's on everybody's museum, like gun museum list. So I should go look at that already. Then after that, go down to Springfield, Missouri, and they've got the other NRA museum there, third one, and then eventually on the way home stop by the one in New Mexico. So on this trip, I'll be able to hit all three NRA museums, and I've never been to the one in Springfield yet. So it'll be the first time I hit that one, and the first time I hit all three of them ever. So anyway, so that's taken me from Detroit, Chicago, down to Tulsa for the gun show. And then if it's still, I don't know, I'm playing by ear and by wallet, I guess. If there's funds in the coffer, or whatever you want to say, I'll go from Tulsa to Dodge City, where they had a museum that I visited before, last year before. And I read that they're redoing that museum. So I'm kind of curious if I can get up there and get a peek inside of the museum. That would be cool, right?
Yeah.
And then, you got a screen you were showing here? And then from Dodge City over to Colorado Springs or Denver, because at that point, I'm done with Tulsa. And then, then I'm got to get back for shipping Yankee stuff. So Colorado Springs, see Dragon Man. This will all depend. I have no idea what snow is like in December or November. Can you drive in Colorado in November, or is it all full of snow?
I mean, if there's a snowstorm that happened last night, usually the next day is kind of messed up, but they're pretty good about clearing the roads and stuff.
Because one time I came from Dodge City into, what do you come across? You'd come across into Pueblo, Colorado. And that was like a little dink road and I can totally see them like not feeling like waking up and plowing that road that morning. It was just a small road, but so that would be the overall trip. And then from going up to Dodge City, sort of just a thing to do to get to Colorado Springs to check out Dragon Man again. And then I've got an open invite to check out the gunsmithing school in Colorado, south of there in Trinidad. And then just south of there is that museum, the NRA museum. And then south of that is Red Dawn filming locations. And again, depending on snow and stuff, actually, it might be kind of neat. There's still some filming locations I've never found yet. And if it's snowing, it would be kind of neat to find some of the locations from the snow scenes down there. But anyway, that's sort of an excuse to go check out the Red Dawn locations again. If I can do that, I will. If I'm running low on gas, I'll just scrub, that part and come straight home from Tulsa.
Where approximately is the Red Dawn shooting location on this map?
I'll tell you that it's in Las Vegas, New Mexico, but any further than that, it's just no fun. It's part of the fun is finding them. But it was basically the crew and everything went to Las Vegas, New Mexico, where they filmed quite a few movies. It's just kind of what do you want to call it? You've seen the movie. It's just that kind of town. It looks like a little Colorado town, I guess. Yeah, so Pink, I got here. So Honda's in here and Dead Horse is in here still, right? Yeah, I got everybody's hidden because I'm showing your screen there. Everybody's on the side. Okay, so I'm sitting here minding my business, right? Bitching and moaning because I can't go to, I don't have enough money to go to DC or whatever. And then, I don't know, I think I said more than once, like I need to figure out how to shuffle my credit cards around, right? And then I'm minding my damn business and I get an email from one of my credit cards saying, hey, would you like more credit? So is that a coincidence? Or is that one of them AI robots listening to me and going, oh, you need more money? Or is that even deeper state? Like, here's the breadcrumb this guy needs to get to the next. I'm walking into some kind of trap.
No, that's how the banks get you, is by giving you so many credit cards that you can't pay them off. All you can do is just pay on them, pay like the minimum amount every month. And that's where they want you, is just paying that minimum amount, is because that's where they make the most money on interest and stuff, right? So it's in their best interest to max you out as much as possible so you can only make that minimum payment, so you can't ever pay off those cards.
Well, and walk around your house talking about cat food if you don't have a cat. Pretty soon you're going to have ads for cat food on your computer or on your phone. Or like for me, like I was looking at, I just checked an insurance quote to see how much it would be for my car for another company. And now all of a sudden I'm getting like phone calls and like pop-ups for different insurance companies like, hey, come to us. It's like, yeah, as soon as you open up that floodgate, like the technology hears it, sees it, and then sells it to someone who wants it.
Yeah. So whatever happened there, or I get these things constantly because I'm in business and I've been in business for a long time, and I literally get credit card crap constantly from like every angle, and I ignore it because I'm not looking for new ways to get credit. But I'm in a situation where I've got a really big bill coming, and that bill, I have one credit card. I don't try to max out a shit ton of credit cards because I totally understand what Dead Horse is saying there. And I haven't lived that life for long, but I've been in that life before. I'm the guy who will get into credit debt because what the hell, I want to live life. And then I suffer through paying off credit cards, but I definitely understand the value of being able to get into credit card debt once in a while. I appreciate it. And anyway, so I do have some credit cards that are empty, but they're these effing credit cards that only work like if I'm buying stuff from Amazon or something online, right? I could buy thousands and thousands of dollars of stuff online, but it doesn't do me any good for gas, and it doesn't do me any good for this really big gas bill I got coming. So like I say, I just was minding my business and I got this thing, and like here's what's messed up. If I go to my credit card company and look around, it's not like they're saying, hey, you want more credit? They're like, pay me, right? Because I'm up to my credit on this. And it's like a medium-sized card. It's like $1,000. It's not even a big card. But they're like, nothing about, they're just like, pay me. Like, you got $11 left on this card. Pay us. But then I get an email and it's like, oh, hey, you want more credit? Just click this button. I click the button, click. Oh, yeah, here you go. Instant credit. Bang. So now all of a sudden I have enough credit to, put basically all the gas on this credit card and go into way more credit card debt. But I don't know if that's deep state, like say opening up this gate that they want me to walk through, or if I just happen to pay attention to this particular email, and maybe if I went through my inbox, there's 700 other emails, just like it I get every week or something.
They made it nice and easy for you, though, didn't they?
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Because, like I say, I've been struggling with, I've been selling stuff, and I've been trying to trade stuff, and I've got a couple of leads on stuff, and it's like really tight. And then, like I say, there's this big ass bill that's really been like frustrating. Like, I can't not pay the bill. It's a big ass bill, and I got to pay it. But how do I, just get it out of my, I have to not pay with cash basically. And and what the hell, like I say, I think the rally is what I'm going for. But it works out where it's the week before Tulsa. So if I want to go to Tulsa, that's $600. If I want to go to this rally, that's, I don't remember what it was by itself, $700, $800 to drive all the way there. And we fell out. Oh, Dead Horse. And when they're next to each other, you kind of combine the gas or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it more economical, especially when you're taking your van. You got the van that you already paid for that's already set up to do this. Like, it's almost like a
sheet. Economical, but it's as functional as I can figure it out. Now, I try like a plane, and then I got to put the dog up. I got to find a place to go. I got to Uber. I'm working out of a suitcase. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I'm not a little guy. And, just, working out of one suitcase is great when you're little because you can put all your clothes in there and then all your stuff. But your clothes take twice as much space and you got a giant bag. It's just a pain in the ass to work out of a suitcase, I think. Plus, I've just never really done it. I'm not used to it or whatever. But renting has got its benefits and drawbacks. But like I say, the van is certainly not the most economical or nothing, but it's what I've got. And I've built and I've kind of set it up to do shit like this. And what are you looking at here?
Oh, I'm just looking at the planet and space around it. Because we were looking at maps and I started playing with Google Maps. I don't know. I was thinking about setting up the RAV4 for a road trip. And I have a 24-hour fitness membership. So my idea is to park at Walmarts and like sleep in the car in Walmart parking lots. And then if I need to take a shower, I can just go to the gym and they have a shower there, and like I already paid for that. It's like what, $25 a month, like, and I
Yeah,
already
I have Planet Fitness, the purple ones, and they're, well, when I got them, they were 500 locations. I'm sure there's more than that now. It's $20 a month if you want the membership that lets you go to any gym. It's like $10 a month if you just go to the gym nearby your house. So it's $20 a month, and yeah, that gives you a shower and a gym, and also these robots that massage you. They squirt water up your butt and stuff. And it's like hot water. You lay down in this hot water robot. It's pretty cool. Seriously, after driving, no, but after driving, it's really nice. I got addicted to them. I forgot. I think I was, because I usually go in the middle of the night or, off times or whatever, so I get in and out. And again, I'm trying to usually drive when it's not rush hour and shit like that, right? And not in the heat of the day. So anyway, I'm in the gym and I think I was just super tired, and I didn't know if I thought that would keep me awake or just put me to sleep or whatever. So I figured I'd try it, and it's the best thing I ever tried. If you haven't ever slept on, or not slept on, but if you ever laid on one of them water robots, do it. Definitely. If it's worth if you were tired, I've seen them in Vegas before, and I couldn't understand why they would have them. They're just having them in like the hallway of a hotel. But like after a convention, after you've been walking like 15 miles in the day or whatever, and you're exhausted, like I can imagine that thing would be awesome. I would say it's worth $5 after a day of walking, but just to experience it, maybe $2 or $3.
What is it, like a water massage machine?
Yeah, you lay on this thing, and it's sort of like, kind of like the rubber you'd make a rubber boat out of, right? Except that it's like a table you'd sit on at the doctor's office or something. You lay on there, and you got clothes on. It's not like you're naked or nothing. You just lay on there, and they give you 10 minutes at the Planet Fitness. At least they give you 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is probably enough. After 10 minutes, you'd probably get sore or something if you fell asleep on it. But I've fallen asleep on it before.
This thing?
No, it's nothing like that. Type in Planet Fitness robot bed or whatever it's called, hydro bed. That's the original ones from back in the day where they squish you between two pieces of plastic and wail on you, which would probably be even better, but you don't have to get into it like that. You just lay on it. Yeah, there it is, the thing at the top right, or any of those. That's the thing. And then they give you this like iPad that basically lets you point where you want the water to squirt. So it's under you going back and forth, but you can like squirt it at your butt or your neck or your legs or whatever. Super nice. So anyway, that's the Planet Fitness. At least there's maybe 2 or 3 gyms that are nationwide that people will choose, but Planet Fitness for me has been like, I can't recommend it enough. Plus it's the one where I think on Tuesday, I don't remember anymore, it's like the second Tuesday and the third Friday or something, they give you like donuts and bagels and pizza. I've only ever found the bagels ever, but you also get candy. They have like Tootsie Rolls all the time. So definitely the best gym for traveling. But there's people that want a gym will go to like, what's that other one?
Well, there's 24, and then there's Lifetime Fitness.
No, those are like the regular ones. There's like a real one, like Gold's Gym or Muscle Gym or something.
Oh, Gold's
like
Gym is the one around here.
But I think it might be Gold's that's like almost as many. They rival some of the big gyms as far as numbers of locations. It's just that it's you're actually lifting weights in those. The Planet Fitness is for like everybody, so there's definitely not people slapping weights and working out really hard. They're just people walking on them treadmills most of the time.
I really like the Lifetime Fitness gyms, but they're expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't look in past when I was making my decision. It was cost, and Planet Fitness was the cheapest. And honestly, they've been super friendly and nice, and like the bathrooms are insanely awesome. It's so much better than my bathroom. I can't even tell you. It's like fanciest bathrooms I've ever been in. Well, not bathrooms, but like the little shower areas. Some of them are literally little tiny rooms for everybody. So like you go in there to take a shower, you just got your little room. So you're just like, I'm gonna spend a half an hour here. Nobody cares because you've got like 7 of them in there, and there's never been a line or nothing. And then like some of them are, what do they call it when you've got like just a thing like a frisbee with holes in it, and it just rains on you. So it's like super hot rain. They've got showers like that. They've got them where they blow on you from two sides. It's crazy. It's like being in a nice hotel's bathroom, except they have like, I guess for the chicks too, they'll have like for the guys they'll have 4 or 5 showers. And like I say, I've gone in there where somebody else is showering, but like most of the time you're just in there by yourself because most people are just in there to walk on their little treadmill and go home and take a shower. So it's just one of the best gyms for taking a nice shower compared to like a truck stop or something where it's like $7 for a shower. Or if you keep buying gas at the same truck stops, you get like credits for taking a shower. But I've been into one of those before, and it was like what you'd expect a truck stop bathroom to be like. I mean, wasn't horrible. It was sort of like if you took the bathroom off a cheap hotel like a Motel 6 and just stuck it into a place without a room. It was like that. It was, somebody goes in there and cleans it each time, but there was some trucker in there taking a shower 5 minutes ago.
Right.
But then the thing about Walmarts is they don't want you there no more. So maybe in the middle of nowhere, you can find some Walmarts that'll let you stay. And I have, like in Wyoming and stuff. But Vegas, California, Arizona, they don't want you there. They'll kick you out. So you've got to definitely find.
Really? Because that was always the thing that I understood anyway. Is like
when Bob and I first started in 2016, it was like, welcome to Walmart. Please stay in our parking lot. We're open 24 hours and hang out here. We want you here. And now it's like we're closed at 12. We open at 6. Get the hell out of here. We'll arrest you. And they put up cameras and have patrols. Like I've been literally kicked out of them. Home Depots, everything. The big towns, I don't know if it's just too many people or in vehicles. That's what Bob thinks. Like too many people live in them or whatever. But they just want parking lots empties at night now. Like there's just empty parking lots all over the place, and there'll be like one security guy kicking everybody around, getting them out of there. There's a million other places you can go. It's just that it's shifted from the big, whatever you call like super center parking lots.
Well, I mean, that makes sense from their point to let people stay there because, like if I'm traveling and I'm like sleeping in the RAV4, let's say, and I get to the Walmart and I'm like, I'm hungry and I need a drink. Hey, convenient. I'm at Walmart, then I could just go spend some money there and like sleep in my car, but they get a little cut of it because I went in and bought some food and something to drink and came back out,
Yeah, seriously. I have no idea why they wouldn't do it. I mean, those stores got to cost $1 billion an hour to run. Anybody they can get walking in and buying a candy bar or shampoo or whatever the hell they're buying in the middle of the night, cat food, right? Like, oh, dang, I need construction paper for this project we got to do. And, whatever. They're going to be making money for that store. It doesn't cost them nothing. That they got the lights on in the parking lot anyway. But I don't know. I haven't really cared that much because like I said, there's definitely other places to go. And when I'm doing what I'm doing now, I won't even have to worry about this too much. Like if I'm staying in one town for any length of time, that's where you have to worry about finding a place to park. But when you're just basically on a trip like this, like truck stops do not care. I mean, that's what truck stops are for, and rest areas. Well, out here there's a bunch of rest areas. There's got to be rest areas along my way somewhere. And then there's literally like websites that'll tell you like which rest areas are good or which ones are creepy or weird. And, I mean, like this time when I drove up to Vegas, I went up there, went to the shoot and then went up past the shoot to Vegas, stayed in, where did I stay at? I stayed someplace. I think I just stayed in any random parking lot for a while where it was shady, because it was hot. And then, when it got to be midnight, no, I think around 10 or whenever I ended some live show, I ended up going to my gym, and I intended to go into the gym, but I ended up falling asleep for a while. Anyway, then did my stuff in Vegas that night, stayed at my gym again that night, and no, I didn't. Wait, that would have been Friday night. We stayed, and then I went to the shoot, and then anyway, after the shoot, I went down to town an hour south of the shoot and stayed at a rest area that's just on the side of the road there for anybody who's just driving that drive between Phoenix and Vegas and wants to pull over and not wreck if they're tired, and stayed there for like 4 hours. And nobody cares if you stay at a rest area for 4 hours, and nobody gives you any shit. You got a bathroom, I guess you got water if you need it, and that one at least is right next to a town, but often they're just a off of, there's an exit right before or right after with facilities if you really need them.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have to go on road trips all the time when I was a kid, and some of those are pretty nice. Some of the rest stops are pretty nice. They got like a park or a fountain or some area to walk in and stuff.
Like some of the states are trying to impress you with their rest areas, or like get you to visit their or drive because of their rest areas. Seriously, like New Mexico has some really neat ones that are like teepees and stuff, and I've definitely seen some that are just
Scary.
there's truck ones that are just like a garbage and maybe a shitter, but it's like literally like one of those places because the trucks have rules, right? Like they can't drive everywhere, can't do stuff, so it's like they'll have to stage or whatever that is, and they just don't want them on all the overpasses or something, so they'll just kind of create a section off the side of the road. And those things are great when you're just road tripping too, because those are on the Google and stuff. You can type it, like if you tell Google when you're driving to show you rest areas, it'll show you those weird truck stop thingies, and you can stop there for as long as you want, really.
Yeah, some of them are a little scary though. Like you wouldn't want to like let your kids wander around without an eye on them,
Oh, for damn sure. Yeah, I don't think any rest areas. I mean, for grown people, they're fine, but I don't think you wouldn't want to let a kid run around a rest area. That's got to be like dangerous as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Which is funny because I specifically remember playing at a rest area as a kid, but whatever.
On your own?
Well, I mean, like my parents, my mom was around, but no, someone's echoing really bad.
And John jumped in from Las Vegas, actually, right?
Johnny Vegas.
Oh, he's muted now. I went to a rest area. I think it was in Wisconsin. When I was farting around waiting to get to Minnesota. I had like a week to go from Chicago to St. Paul, so I had farted around in Wisconsin, and they had a rest area there. I think that was cool because you stop, and then you could take this trail and walk. I think it was like a mile loop, and go walk up to kind of like an overlook where I think they were either cutting timber or growing iron, or I don't know what the hell they were doing, but there was some outlook. And that was kind of cool actually, because then you stretch your legs and whatnot. So I could see something like that being, where like back in the day, your parents would be like, "Yeah, go run down that trail, leave us alone." But nowadays, you would never do that, I don't think. Are you not hearing us, John? No, it looks like he's froze. He might be on hotel internet or something. See what Ozzy's saying? I don't know. I mean, back in the day, I can remember stories about that, and man, I don't even remember that kind of stuff. But I could totally see it back in the day. But I think they've cut down on that kind of weird stuff. But you never know.
What's
Truck
his name?
drivers now. He's saying there's like hookers at the rest areas.
Oh, I mean, I have heard of that, but I haven't seen it either. Like, I think at the truck stops, like the big ones, that's probably where you're gonna find them.
Yeah.
It depends on the city, man. It really does. It depends on the city, and then not even that. It depends on what part of the city. You know what I mean? Because there's definitely good areas where they kind of run the vagabonds and stuff out, and then there's bad areas where they all pile up to, and there's too many of them to run out. So, I've definitely pulled up to truck stops and basically seen entire gangs, sitting outside the truck stop. Not just people, like actual like gangs.
Maybe that's why Walmart stopped letting people stay overnight.
Oh no, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it couldn't have been because of, well, I don't know. It could be because when they close at midnight now and open at 6, if they're closed for 6 hours, maybe they don't want people there when they're not open.
Well, it depends on the Walmart though, because not all of them close. Like mine's still open 24/7, and so.
Well, that's true, and it's not consistent. If they're open 24/7, it doesn't mean that they allow it. But the thing is, if they're open 24/7, how the hell do they know? I mean, unless you've got a big camper, right?
Why did they stop being open 24/7? That's my question. Because I used to love going to Walmart, like after I get off of work at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, when there's no one there.
Theft, dude. I think that's the number one reason.
Why?
I think theft.
It is.
Theft and overhead, right? Because it used to be like, oh, we're already paying stalkers and people to be here.
Right.
We really only need one cashier, and then we can still be open all night. But I think that mainly because of theft. I think people running in, grabbing a shopping cart full of steaks and running out. And,
Yeah, that's true. And how they don't even know half the time. They have to go back and look at their videos to even see that it happened. I bet. Even when they close like all the doors but one, that's probably still happening because they're not, like you say, when they're open at night. There's like 2 people in the whole store that actually are paying attention to customers.
Well, I've noticed like more and more stuff is behind lock and key and glass, like, hey, I want those headphones. Okay, now I have to find an associate. So then it makes it a pain in the ass to buy things there. And so you don't.
I guess I'm interrupting, but here's the thing. I've pretty much depended on Walmart. We're talking about Walmart because the idea of sleeping in the parking lot or whatever, which I'll still do if I need to, I suppose, or if I can, I guess. But I've been trying not to go to the Walmarts, the little tiny pies, which I'm addicted to, and then other crap, which I'm addicted to because it's fucking Walmart and it's open all damn night. And most of the time, it's the only thing open all fucking night. So that's going to be tough this time because I'm going to try to stick with it and not go to Walmart's. I'm not even worried about the parking lot part. Like, there's all kinds of alternatives for parking lots, but it is difficult to find anything worth of crap that's open in the middle of the night. I guess Walgreens and CVS's I'm going to be stuck with, and CVS's, man, I hate there. CVS just seems like everything costs 17 times as much as I'm used to.
Yeah, same with Walgreens does the same thing because they know. Like, go ahead.
Do you guys have Harris Teeter? It's a grocery store chain. We have them out east. I'm not sure if you have them out here. They're open 24/7.
What's it called again?
Harris Teeter.
No, there's something called. I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it, like Winmart or some shit. Winco, WINCO out here that they just started getting in Arizona, or at least they have them in Phoenix, and I've seen them, but they're open 24/7. Same kind of concept as what Walmart was, except that it's like a company where the employees own it, and they would pay attention to somebody stealing shit. Pink is saying that Harris Teeter is Kroger. So yeah, we have, I think, a couple of Krogers out here. Krogers are like in the fancy foothills part of town.
See, we have King Supers. That's the Kroger here. And like you can get like sushi at King Supers. Like it's nice.
I love King Supers. That is the best grocery store.
Yeah, it really is.
The best grocery store the best grocery store there is Wegmans.
I don't know. I would almost say that one that I just said, Winco, is pretty cool because it's like employee owned and its prices are pretty good. But then there's like maybe 40% of the prices are really good and the rest of the prices are not really good. So I like the store, but I'm kind of glad they're not around here because I wouldn't be able to shop at them.
See, King Supers is great because like their meat is really cheap and it's also pretty good high quality, So like you can get like a decent quality steak there for like really cheap. And then if you go to like Walmart, it's like worse meat for more money, But then if you go to Walmart and you want to buy like bulk cheese, like they've got like 5 pounds of cheese for $6,
No, it's not.
I like King Supers because they have a real butcher. Like you go to King Supers, they have a real butcher that'll actually cut you a real piece of meat. The way you want it cut. You can get dog bones for free at King Supers. I mean, I don't know. That's just probably one of the nicest grocery stores I've ever used. I miss King Supers. I really do.
Yeah, a good thing about Wegmans is that the prices are really good. They have the butchers, which actually cut the meat. They have a chocolatier there that makes desserts and stuff like that, and they have hot foods, and they have a bar inside them.
Yeah, and they've got like the cheese bar too, with like a million different kinds of cheese. And like if you go there when it's busy, they'll have like a little cheese girl sitting out there with like cutting little squares of cheese for everyone to try as they go by. Like I love that little girl. I would marry her.
So you want to marry a little girl?
Well, she's little. She's not a little girl though. She's not young. She's small in stature.
All right. Well, let's let the supermarket chains pay for their own airtime, and let's talk about. Let's see. So we've got the Red October coming up this weekend, and then 5 days after that will be the 2A rally in Washington D.C. 5 days after that will be the world's largest gun show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then 5 days after that will be something. I have to go to I'm to try to go to another gun show on the way back to Tucson. So maybe in Albuquerque or in Colorado someplace I'll find a gun show. But anyway, we
So,
talked about any of those things. Go ahead.
G-Webs, are you going to Red October?
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow and heading that way. So I'll be up there sometime tomorrow, hopefully, or Saturday, and then be there for Saturday, and then head towards DC.
Okay. So, so I'll see you at Red October and then in DC.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was at Rifle Dynamics looking at their new little toy they have.
They have like an open house tonight for everybody.
No, just me.
What do they got a new rifle they're working on or something?
No. The owner just broke out a gun that I love, an STG 44, also known as the MP 44.
Oh,
You know
right.
what that is?
They were talking about maybe even shooting that thing then.
Yep. Yeah, that thing is beautiful.
So is that like an original old one, or is that like something that somebody made?
No, that's an original old one. They restored it. It was cut in like 3 parts, and they restored it for 3 parts.
Oh, okay. And then was that like someone had a parts kit, or was that like a gun that somebody like didn't know what to do with and they chopped it up themselves? Or do you know?
It was turned into a police department, and basically they traded rifles to the police department for that, but they had to chop it up.
Ugh. So that's the kind of laws we got. But that's interesting. I'll have to talk to them about that for sure. I remember I went up there and talked to them last weekend, right? And I think they showed me a picture or something of the guy holding that, and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't get into it because I figured it had to come from, well, I kind of figured it was a rebuild because nobody in their right mind is going to shoot a real one, like an original untouched one, because that'd be like, what, $70,000?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to like shoot that just because they're not going to want to risk breaking it, right? But I could see a rebuild where you already are confident in its structure and you can rebuild it because you just did. Then I could totally see shooting it, right?
Yeah, they did a really good job restoring it. You really can't even tell that it was welded back together.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Dude, if you're going to DC, you could go to the Smithsonian Museum. You could go to the U.S. Army Museum, and what's the other one that's right there?
Here's the thing. So when I was a little kid, I went to the Smithsonian, and I can remember going into the museum of, I'm pretty sure it was American history. And it was the building that had the MASH tent in it, right? Because they had the MASH tent in from this, the scenes from that, or this, whatever, from that movie, or from that TV show. And one of the floors was all a bunch of boats, like a shit ton of boats, old-fashioned boats with the sails and the ropes and shit, like models of them. It was boring as hell because I don't like boats that much. And then I turned the corner and like the other half of the whole floor was guns. It was nothing but guns. And then every other time I've gone back to the Smithsonian, nothing, no guns at all.
What?
So they've moved all the guns down into the basement to the what do they call, like the archive storage. And it's depressing as hell going to the Smithsonian.
Well, why don't you just go to the NRA Museum? That's out in Fairfax.
NRA Museum is what I'm going to be doing. So I go to that one every time. One, it's free. And two, if they let the NRA fail, then it's going to be sold to Bloomberg. So no one will ever see those guns again. And 3, it's free. And then the other reason is because I can go to that one. I can go to the one in Springfield, and I can go to the one in New Mexico, all in the same trip. So I'll go to all 3 NRA museums this trip.
Can you go to the
Nice.
FBI reference firearm collection? And
Dude, I wish. That's not available to the public. I wish really wish it was. I hope that, see the guy who made that site that you're looking at? I don't think he went there either. I think he's just putting it in there but I'm hoping that eventually I'll have some sort of credential to be able to get myself in there. Because that would be that one, and there's another one. But the FBI,
Talk to me.
you know how to get in there?
Yeah, you have to, it's only certain days, but I have a friend that works out there.
Okay, yeah, I definitely like to, because that's the kind of thing that it's just neat to for this, like what he's doing, what Nicholson's did with his site, just to show what the museums are, so that we know what we're missing, basically.
Yeah, there's also, I've been to the CIA museum too.
Yeah, CIA I've heard is interesting. My sister wants me to go there really bad, but I just never thought I got the impression it was more of a touristy thing than a museum-y thing.
Oh no, you're talking about the spy museum.
Yeah.
There's a CIA museum that's open. My stepdad was a spy. Back in the day, before he died and stuff like that. Of course, before he died. What the hell am I talking about? How could he was a spy for a little while. He retired from the CIA as a spy, so we got to go into the CIA museum where they had all the really cool shit.
But is that something people can have access to?
No, it's only they open it up one day a year for family members of CIA agents and stuff like that.
There's the Woolarock Museum it's like the Colt Collection in Oklahoma. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I'll be hitting on this trip. It's just north of Tulsa, and I've been past it now 1 billion times and didn't realize how close I was to it. So that's one of the goals of this trip. Now, you talked about the Army Museum, so there's more than one, but the ones you're talking about are like Annapolis and Quantico and something else for the Army out there. And
Quantico is Marines, Annapolis is Navy.
Right, and then I forget what the Army one is called, but there's one for the Army also. But there's a couple of things. The first time I went out there, Obama had shut them all down for cost or whatever, and then now you need passports or some shit to get on them, and that's why I haven't gone to them, because they take like half an hour extra to go to them and shit, and usually you're trying to get to like 3 things in a day, so I just blown them off. I also kind of figured I'm going to be there the longest, but I guess that might be wishful thinking.
Well, let me see. Oh crap, my ID's expired. My wife's military, so I have an ID to get on the base, which expedites it.
It's just that they make you do the background check, and they don't give you maybe if I had a card or like a passport or something, it's different, but I think it's not, because whenever you go to one and you do all that, like we had to do it to go to the one out here at Fort Huachuca, and then if I went to the one in Illinois, I'd have to wait and sit there and do all that shit again. It's not that it's just that it takes a half an hour to fucking get on an Army base anymore. And they don't give you just some card that says like, here, now you can just go on the Army bases. Like they just do a check every time you go on to one. So anyway,
if you go with someone who actually has a dependent ID, all you need is a license, and they just look at it and they let you go in.
Ah, snap. Okay. See, I've always just gone into some dude going in either by myself or with my friends. Okay, so that makes sense.
No. If you have a dependent ID, they just they scan the back of your license, and then they just look at mine.
You have somebody there that's vouching for you, basically.
Yeah, they look at mine, they hand mine back, and they scan the back of yours, and they scan it back, and you just go in. Have
you ever been to this one, the John Browning Museum?
Oh, you bet. Me and Bedworth went to that one the last time, last year. And when I was doing the trip back from Gun Rights Policy last year, we went there again.
I bet that one's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
It's awesome, and then what's also extra awesome is it's in the town that he did all this stuff. So you can leave that building where you're standing in that building in that fountain, let's say. If you stood at that fountain and looked towards where they're taking the picture and walked another 3 blocks, you'd stand at a building where it says Browning and Brothers or something, or Browning and Sons, and that building still exists, and you can lay hands on it. And then you can go to a hotel that was a factory, and it's got a plaque in front, and then you can go to his house, and then you can go to his third factory, which is basically across the street from his house. So you can lay hands on like 3 of the factories where like the 1911 was invented, where all the machine guns were invented.
Well, and it's all ran by volunteers too, and the volunteers who usually volunteer for that, they usually because I've been there several times, and they're usually interested in that, right? So they usually know a lot and will be able to tell you a lot because that they dig it. Like when I retire, I want to volunteer there.
Nice.
Are you into planes at all? Military planes?
I have gone to most of the museums when I was in Civil Air Patrol and stuff. We were into that kind of stuff, but there's not enough time on this trip to go to plane museums. I'm going to go to gun shops, so I'm interested in any gun shops you might know that are awesome, surplus stores that are awesome, and then museums around that area. I'm gonna play it by ear, but you're in that area, I'll get with you when I'm closer because I'm gonna get to DC before the rally. I'm hoping to cover the rally, not just what happens at the rally, but the setup and the behind the scenes. There's quite a bit of speculation, as you know, as to why it even is existing and all that. So I want to cover as much of that as I possibly can. So I'm going to be there a few days early and we can chat. But I'm not going to be a tourist so much. I'll try to hit a museum if I can, or if you have access to something, I'll certainly take an opportunity like that. But I'm not going on this trip to sightsee necessarily.
They're thinking about making this like an annual rally now instead of a one-time only thing.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I say, originally they were saying not. They were definitely not in there. So as it gets closer and as its momentum, it'll change obviously. But again, that's where I'm curious to see that stuff. So I'm gonna do my best to get there. Where's my thing at? I'm gonna leave Vegas and kind of book so that I get to DC on Thursday.
You know what? If I would have known, I would have just said, "Hey man, I'll split the gas with you and drive back." It might have been a cool adventure.
Yeah, I mean, it basically would have been a lot of just driving, but because I'm not really spending too much time. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier, I've got a couple of things like Honda was saying, do a tour of the van because however you set up a van is maybe interesting to somebody. But if I'm going to do that, I'd rather do it like in front of that pyramid in Memphis that looks like that pyramid that is a Bass Pro, or I don't know. There's like a million other places that are interesting. Like maybe do it at the fairgrounds where the Tulsa is, where that big ass miner guy or whatever he is like standing. No, I guess he's not a miner. He's an oil guy. There's a name for oil dudes, isn't there?
Roughnecks.
Roughnecks on a lineman. I think it might be a roughneck. So he's one of them. So I could do that tour right there, and especially if I did it when the gun show's not going. Anyway, so that's just a matter of thinking about it and it being daylight and stopping for an hour and doing it. But anyway, that's about the only thing I'm going to stop for is what I'm getting at. And then and that's one of the reasons I wanted to keep doing the show. And I'm sad that I didn't have the show, the Daily Gun Show, going more consistently because that's one of the points of doing the Daily Gun Show is that, when I'm going to get out on the road like this, to be able to get it, have communication with people. I'm hoping that people will let me know, good gun shops or surplus stores or museums or like even a VFW hall that has something significant, a cool vehicle or a display on a wall or something that you can walk in and look at. Or who knows? I mean, I've seen surplus stores that have amazing tributes to veterans or to a unit or something, or something significant to them. Here in Prescott, Arizona, for example, the the guys that parachuted in and lost their lives fighting fires, and that kind of stuff is interesting. And I mean, I guess fires isn't necessarily gun stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, hopefully people will dig into some of the stuff we're creating and let us know where some of these places are to stop and check out. I'll be stopping at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Does everybody know about that place?
No.
Yes, there.
Yeah, they're a great place to go.
Well, you have to know about them, I think, right?
Yeah,
I
go there every time I go towards the Smoky Mountains. I always make a point to go stop in there.
Are you anywhere near there?
It's about 3.5 hours for me.
Oh yeah. So you got one of them states that's deceptive. People look at it and go, "Oh, that's a narrow state. That can't be that much significance." But no, it takes forever to go from one side of Tennessee to the other side of Tennessee. You're driving forever. Texas seems like it's a long time to go from one side to the other, but Tennessee can hold up. I think if we put them next to each other, does Tennessee even fit in Texas?
I think Tennessee has some of the nicest roads I've ever driven on, as far as the interstate goes. I don't know
Oh,
about
I'm not saying it ain't pleasant. It's awesome actually.
Oh,
'Cause
it was so beautiful. These windy, curvy roads. Like, I wish I had a Porsche 911 and I'd go straight to Tennessee. This thing. It was a beautiful drive through there.
I guess technically Texas is big.
You need a Honda motorcycle, and then you'll be good.
I don't think I could do this trip in a motorcycle, dude. It's cruise control and 75 miles an hour in the van is pretty nice. What I like about the van, which I never thought about until I got the van, are you looking at anything interesting? Oh, you're looking at Smoky Mountain Network.
Yeah.
When you sit in the van, it's like you're sitting at the kitchen table. When I sit in like my cop car or any other car I've ever had, it's like I'm sitting in a recliner watching TV or something. So I have a tendency to fall asleep all the time when I'm driving a car. Plus, I can't even drive a car anymore. I feel like I'm laying down on one of them luges or something. So, like I'm up in the air like a truck. I'm sitting up and I'm awake and I've got the cruise control on. It's literally the most comfortable driving I've ever experienced. Driving in a van like format or vehicle or whatever you want to call that, form factor, I guess. All right, so Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I think somebody told me something about a place in Nashville. I always get Nashville and Knoxville. Which one's closer to Smoky Mountain Knife Works? Knoxville?
Knoxville. Yeah, Knoxville.
So I think somebody wanted to meet up in Nashville. But you see, that's one of those things. I'm number one, I ain't doing a meet and greet with nobody. And two, it's tough to be like, oh yeah, I'll be there at noon, because what the hell, I ain't gonna drive like 90 miles an hour and get a ticket to meet up with somebody for lunch or something, And it depends. The guy I'm talking about is TN. Is it TN Outdoors 9? You know that guy, ammo guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He's a cool dude from back in the day, and the problem is he's travels, so he doesn't just stay on one space. So it'd be like, I would be holding him up if I wasn't meeting him at just the right time. So it's going to be, it's always difficult.
Well, when you come to Denver, I'll take a day off, man. We'll do whatever for a day.
Well, like I said, I've got to see. Denver is all going to be playing it by ear on the back end, but if everything,
well, at least Colorado Springs, I can meet you down there.
Well, the whole Colorado part really is what I'm getting at. Is what I tried to do is figure out the realistic gas mileage out of the van, which I've got going off of past receipts here, and then using the average 275 for gas. But I'm basically driving, except for when I drive through like stupid Pennsylvania and shitty Ohio, and maybe crappy Michigan, and definitely shitty Illinois. Like all the other states are like some of the cheapest states for gas, except for those like 5 states I'm driving to out of 18. And I could probably drive through those states, right? Like depending on how I pace it, I could probably fill up in a state that's got good gas because I got that Gas Buddy app. Does anybody ever use that?
Yeah, that's great for anytime I'm traveling.
Hell yeah. I don't know. It took me a while because I'm stubborn. Poor people got me to use it. But I started using it in like San Antonio that time when Edge was like, oh yeah, here, come to San Antonio. It'd be awesome. So I drive to San Antonio, and then it turns out that there was a hurricane and there's no gas in Texas. And it's like, oh yeah, but they're gas rationing, but no big deal. Like you just go to the gas station where they have gas. It's like $8 a gallon, and there's like 4 gallons in all of San Antonio. But that Gas Buddy was like, at least it got me using that Gas Buddy thing, and now I use it all the time. The Wickenburg, where I was telling you, I stopped at that rest area. That town has one road that goes through it, and then a little road that offshoots and goes off into who knows where, gold mines and shit probably. And on the road that goes just from Phoenix to Vegas, you stay on that road. Those gas stations are, let's say, $3 a gallon. You go off on that little road, 2 blocks on that little road, $2.50 a gallon. So that Gas Buddy, if you're empty and you're filling up 20-something gallons at 50 cents difference, I've seen an 84-cent spread on Gas Buddy, because that's the other thing is it'll tell you the spread when you drive into a town or an area. You turn on Gas Buddy and it'll say in this area, its averages from 250 to 325. So okay, I'm looking at the gas stations here are pretty close to being the lowest. I don't have to search all over town. Or you can say, oh damn, I almost paid the most I'd possibly pay in this town if I drive a little further on or off the main path of it. Save 80 cents.
Yeah, here's your map right here of gas prices.
Oh shit, that looks way different than the one I was looking at. I was looking at one from AAA, but you can see it's pretty much similar. If I drive, see Arizona's, I'm screwed. But then New Mexico, all that stuff in the middle, I'll be on. Then that's Virginia, sneak up. Pennsylvania, shitty, expensive gas. Ohio and Michigan and Illinois, I'll try to rape you. And then as soon as I get back down into Missouri, I'm back into freedom again.
It's funny how California looks like that.
Dude, you can't even drive over there because of this.
That's ridiculous. That means the gas is all every drop.
Look at that. I live in
that
bright orange. I live in kind of a dirty orange, but so does a bunch of us actually.
No, yeah, I mean you're the same as me. Like gas prices are about 230 to 270 somewhere in there.
It definitely. When I went to Vegas, I puckered because it went to like $4. It's crazy. Drive one border over and it's like, oh.
But then you stop at like these little these islands in Texas or whatever of like $1.70.
Yeah, where they're like, oh, you can just have those buckets of gas over there if you want them. Nobody wants unleaded gas.
Like we keep finding more of it under our feet, and we don't know what to do with it. Here, take it.
All right, so I don't know how we got into the Gas Buddy. So I guess that was just with if I can get to Colorado, it's going to be, how that actually averages out. So I can't do much, gas. I can just, what am I going to do? I can just drive, right? I can not drive like a spaz and then get the best gas mileage I can, but I cannot eat and, I'm not going to really do nothing. Like I said, I'm not really sightseeing. It'll cost something for, I don't know, Tulsa. Well, does it cost us anything for Tulsa? I guess not. When we get our press passes, it doesn't cost us nothing to get in there. No,
well, if you get here on like Thursday or Friday, man, I'll buy you lunch.
Right on. Yeah, I'm planning on getting there like Thursday, having a day off because I'll have been driving then, shit ton across the country there, and then oh no, he jumped out, and then I'll wait till he gets back. Say that all again. Anyway, it's been going for an hour. I've been watching the internal chat. It's probably the time to go look at what's going on in the outside chat over there. Still 23 people watching. Is that right? Gary just jumped out from Kansas.
Yeah, I see 23 watching.
Nice.
Anything going on in the chat out there?
No, not really. I'll say if you go to Tennessee, I think the two things to see in Tennessee is probably that Parthenon. They have an exact life-size replica of the Parthenon.
Where?
In Tennessee.
Oh.
It's an exact size. It's like an exact replica of it, So it's like.
Is it on the whatever that road is I'm going to be on, the main road?
Yeah, it's right off the freeway.
Okay. Pants is. I was just giving everybody shit out there because I know we got a bunch of Ohios and Pennsylvanias out there. But Pants is saying that it's only $2.50 for gas there. That's pretty much what I'm paying, so it's not bad. But I guess it goes down to something, right? It goes down to like $2.05 or some shit.
Yeah, it's like $2.05 to $2.13 around here.
Hey, G Web, you can go see Foamhenge right outside DC.
Stonehenge?
Yeah, it's like a life-size replica of Stonehenge made out of foam.
Oh.
Like styrofoam. Stupid.
Driving Friday, I'll get there in 8 hours. Oh, Pink is saying when he gets there. Okay, well, so where I was asking if they said anything out there, but they were. Oh, you guys are talking about affording it. Like I say, I'm going to put it mostly on the credit card and then hope to sell some shit. I took some, what do you call it, some parts kits up to Vegas because I knew the Red October thing was going, and I knew I was going to be talking to people who build AKs, right? And I wanted them to help me. I would ask them if they would help me value them, right? Give me a price on them, and they did. So now I knew what they were worth. They didn't know anybody that were interested in them, so I started asking around to other people I know. And like I say, I've gotten just 2 kind of bites on nibbles on those, but I'm hoping to. There's some kind of swap meet or something at Red October. Kind of debating if I should bring them up for that or not.
Yeah, that's on Sunday, I think it is.
Oh, I think it's Saturday. I thought it was Saturday from 3 to.
No.
Or maybe, I don't know.
If it's, I gotta look, because if it's Sunday, I'm not gonna even be there Sunday. So.
I'm just gonna. They're just gonna point me in the direction. I'm just gonna go.
But anyway, so I've kind of got 2 things tentative that hopefully if they sell, they'll pay for a portion of the gas, and then it's just be an effort and frugality. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing to float. So I sold a bunch of shit. The patches and things that I made a bunch of patches out of that piece of tie down strap, turning junk into, or what did I say, turning trash into treasure. That literally worked. I think I sold all but one of those. So that's like $500 I made out of a tow strap, and that's $1,600 worth of gas. 500 of it came from that one tow strap, and it's however many 10 people or something, 12 people buying a super overpriced thing, trinket, what do you call it, catalyst or whatever, to just a thing to let me get there, and then some of that stuff that I've been working on in the shop to create products for the art or whatever for the gear website store. So people bought some of that stuff, and that stuff hasn't all sold, but some of it has, and that brought in some money too, because that was super overpriced. And again, appreciate the people that did that, the people at Patreon that even make it possible for me to be in a situation where it's even a possibility, though. Get all the credit, because like I say, I wouldn't even be in a place where I could do it. So yeah, I figured, what the hell, it's like I say, that weird thing happened where the credit card just kind of opened up and doubled on me, basically, which allows me to put this really big bill on the credit card, which means I've got enough credit card space for literally all the gas, and then enough cash in hand based on all the stuff that people bought to feel comfortable enough to go. Now, I mean, literally, like a blown tire or something worse is going to put me out. I'll be selling the van in Tennessee and walking home or renting a car. It's not a pleasure cruise. But what the hell? I'm pretty sure this is the first time and the only time we're going to see something like this. If it does turn into a yearly thing, it'll fall apart and it'll be less, right? If it only becomes one thing ever, then it'd be worth seeing it. It's going to bring people together in 2019, year before the boomers hand off their influence in political or the federal presidential elections. And it's a time for gun owners to get together and say, here we are. So I think it's worth going all in on. So I totally understand people not being able to get there and whatnot. And what the hell? That's why we're bringing cameras with us, right? So that we can share what there is to share. And like I say, I'm going to try to get there a couple of days early and basically have a day off so that I'm not just there early, but I'm there like rested and ready. Been to DC a few times and got some idea of what's going on. Hopefully I can get some kind of behind the scenes and check out what this thing was all about and why it happened and answer some questions. And even if I can't put that stuff out live, I'm hoping that I can at least get some of that end of it. And then, like I say, driving halfway across the fucking continent. I'm going to drive to Detroit and check out Patriot and drop off some stuff. He's been helping me out financially with buying crap off the store, and I'm going to just deliver that to him. And then I'm going to go to that, what do you call it, that art museum in Chicago that's supposed to have a gun thing. It was on that thing that Honda was looking at, that website from that dude. Really cool website. If you want to drop that in the show, feel free. But that guy's website helped inspire me to start paying attention to all the museums I've been to and categorizing them. I don't do as good a job as him yet because I'm still putting them up there, but eventually I'll have something that'll make his look like punk. But anyway, checking out some of these museums and stuff, and then finally getting to Wanamaker again and hanging out with the Gun Channels folks, where we get that table and we help promote the show and put some, just get some energy back in that community again too. I'm hoping this time to get up on the walkway, that museum or that building that the Tulsa show is in. It's 11 acres, so it's no pillars or nothing. It's just a big, whatever they call that when there's no pillars in a building. So there's these walkways up and down each end of it, and I've seen people up there, so it's not like they must be able to go up there. I'm gonna try to get up there so I can get a camera or a picture from up there of the show from above, and it's been something I've been trying to do for a few years, hoping to do that this time. Yeah, thanks.
That'd be cool.
So so if you're looking at, you put it on the internal, is that what I'm looking at?
I did both.
Okay, cool. So why haven't I seen it out here?
It's going to be hidden unless he's a mod. Because it's a link.
Oh yeah, because I'm not a mod.
Oh, is that what happens? So just say something. But I didn't even see it at all.
Yeah, YouTube will automatically hide it if he's not a mod, or unless you can have the option turned on your YouTube to let people post links, but that's not always a good idea.
Oh yeah, I don't do that for damn sure.
Yeah.
Just post anything over there, Honda, and then I can make them on. So anyway, I totally appreciate that end of it, and it's tough, and it's the financial side of it, and even just the going. I mean, it was a tough decision all the way up until basically today, even where it wasn't a for sure thing. Are you ever going to type anything over there? Back and forth. I'll just put the damn link out here.
Can I do it now?
No, because you have to type something so I can make you a mod first. Whatever you typed before is invisible to me. I don't know why it would be invisible there. You would think that it would show me that he's posting links, right?
No.
No, not when it's a link, because it wants to protect you from bad links, right? So it automatically just blocks it.
Yeah. So now Honda can drop it. Thanks for dropping it.
Nice.
All right. So with that though, like I say, I don't know what to do. I'm not the guy to do the live show with fanciest camera, nothing. I think Clover's got the best camera. Did anybody hear what's going on with Clover?
No, what's going on with Clover?
Well, I'm not going to spread rumors, but something's going on with Clover. So, and then, like I said, I'm just not the guy to have the fanciest camera or whatever. So there'd be other people that would have, that their thing. And then there's definitely people that are going to be recording it better, audio.
Yeah. I have the same camera as Clover. I'll be there with it.
You use a camera, or do you use a phone, or what are you using?
Out there, it's going to be a camera.
Like an SLR type of thing?
A mirrorless.
I like my
mirrorless is what better video.
I like my Canon. It was pretty cheap and it works really well. That was what I filmed the entire Dragon Man thing on.
Is that an SLR?
No, it's just a little tiny camera. You can put
like a square rectangle snapshot type camera.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you can hear that. I started out using those quite a bit, and they're handy because you just drop in your pocket and whatnot.
My son got one of those generic GoPros last Christmas.
How's you like it? I got one of those and they didn't like it very much.
Yeah.
Because like I had one set up on my motorcycle helmet so I could try to do moto vlogs, and I had it all hooked up, and the video quality was just not there.
I use a GoPro 7, then I use a DJI, their little Osmo Pocket, which is like a little 4K gimbal. A Canon M50, Canon 60D, and my Mavic 2 Pro drone for my filming.
Yeah, we can't use drones there though, right?
In DC, no.
But you've got one of them. Well, you're saying like looks kind of like a big ass flashlight, but it's a gimbal, and it just has like a little square camera at the top, so it stays steady and everything. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh well, no. The new DJI Osmo Pocket. It's incredibly small. It actually can fit in your pocket.
It's a folding gimbal.
No, it's not a folding gimbal. It can fit in the palm of your hand gimbal, but it has the same stabilization as a bigger gimbal.
So it's called DJI Pocket.
Yeah, Osmo Pocket.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I thought it was bigger. So it's just the size of a regular flashlight, but then that little thingy on the top is a decent camera, right?
Oh, it's a 4K. Yeah, there's 4K 60.
So basically, it's just like holding a standard flashlight, except that the top of it is like a little wiggly robot eyeball, and it's nice, but they're $400. But yeah, then it's all stabilized, and that's where I'm saying like, there's people that own that stuff, and they are looking for reasons to use it. So I'm not going to bother, buying cameras and that shit. I'm just going to get there, try to help or whatever. But like Pink is saying, we can have an Every Second Matters chat from there for sure. And then, again, just to, I think as much of it is the rally, the only significance of the rally is what the human beings that attend and the people that are aware of its, significance that they all give it. So that's what I want to see is just, experience that and archive as much of that as possible. Like I said, there'll be people archiving the content of it, and then, try to, I don't know, this will be the first because now I actually know I'm going to be driving. I'll have plenty of time to be thinking about stuff, unlike some of the people that are flying where they're just going to live life and then a couple hours later they'll be in DC. I'll be driving for like a week to get there and plenty of time to think about shit. And then I'll have a few days there to kind of get my bearings and get ready. So along that time, I'm hoping to have collaboration with people that are either watching this live or in the replays. To be part of this and give suggestions and ideas so that we can make the best use out of this opportunity that we've got here with so many people coming together. And, again, we've got ears, we've got eyes, and we've got a way to record it all. So,
yeah,
to all that.
Yeah, I'll be the day of the rally. I'll be swimming with my kids at 8:30 in the morning. For swim lessons, and then go in there.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about being close, right? It's just another thing to do. Now, are you aware of any other things that are happening, like around it, things that are popping up because everybody's going to be there?
I know that I'm supposed to. I don't think I'm going to do it though. But Katie and Carrie Sloan they're doing a breakfast in the morning.
Right, for the people the first 10 people that kind of reserved whatever. That's sort of a crazy thing, yeah.
But I'm not getting back. I'm not flying back. Okay. Backpacks in DC, you're allowed to have them. Yeah. I mean, there's not really you if you go in the Capitol, they search it and everything, but you're allowed to have backpacks and everything like that. So I wouldn't even worry about that.
They search everyone who goes into the Capitol.
Well, hold on. You're talking about if you went into the building on the tour, not
Yeah,
walking around the grass out front.
yeah. At the West Lawn, they're not going to search you. Sometimes they will if they think that there's going to be a threat, but I don't see that here. Like if it's like a protest, like a, uh, like a J20 type thing.
I mean, it's only from 12 because they changed the time. So now it's 12:30 to 4 instead of 1 to 4. So it's 3.5 hours. I'm going to bring like a bottle of water. I mean, I'm not going to bring a bunch of stuff. I just don't see it. Because like you say, it's DC, it's the federal capital. If they want to stop and spread everything in your bag out, they're going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it though. They're pretty good about that. They don't really overreact. They deal with like protests and rallies like almost every day, so they know how to handle it.
All right. Well, we've been going for about 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Like I said, this is the first show. Hopefully, we'll have a series of these. We've had different opportunities in the past when I forget, I think it was Bob and Jimmy were both around the one time when I did the big tour when the transmission blew out. Hopefully, that'll never happen again. And they were able to run the show, and I would just kind of join in. But I think we were doing the show at like 3 in the afternoon then, and that blew. Did not like having to kind of stop in the middle of the day to do a show. It was super hot, and it was difficult to always find a spot to be, to where you could hang out for an hour and talk. Just to find a spot like that at just the right time. So I'm going to continue to work on ways of keeping everybody along with the adventure and sharing it at the same time, being good about it and making it interesting. So if anybody's got ideas on that, always curious. And let's see, Pink is saying, so he's got batteries and patches and stuff. And that's the thing. I guess when I think of my backpack, I think of like, when I'm carrying a backpack, I want to have like my get out of here bag. Like, I want some stuff that I can get out of here. So it's going to be like tools and wires. There's like no way they're going to let me have like duct tape and wire and shit going into the Capitol, right? They're going to be weird if you're even walking around DC with that. But I guess if you just emptied it out and used it to carry some stuff in, who cares if they go through it, right? If it's just a bunch of patches or your phone battery, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Do they even allow bags? They might even have a rule. Like some places have rules like, oh, you can't bring in a bag and stuff like,
Well, the rally's on the west Capitol lawn.
Yeah, John was saying there's no problem having a backpack. He just said that, if you went into the Capitol, they would search it. But that makes sense. They're going to search you if you go into any federal building.
What's that on one of the corners there out like on the other side of the gate, out towards the street, they have that famous spot where people go and preach everything from politics to religion to just, flat earth, whatever it is. It's a famous spot. Like all sorts of people have spoken there, and it'd be neat to see some 2A guys, before and after the rally go out there and speak, because a lot of that stuff actually gets covered on the news, and especially if you get a large gathering there.
You know what he's talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, like Bill Maher, like all sorts of people have spoken and talked there, and it's a famous spot. It's just right outside the Capitol there on the other side of the fence. Like that whole section of fence is just for people, they'll even bring their own little makeshift podium and stand up there and talk to whoever's walking by who stops and listens. Some people perform magic and stuff like that. But mostly it's like people out there speaking their mind on certain things.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I figure it's from now 12:30 to 4, and the people that created it basically just said, "Let's do a rally," and then someone said, "Let's do it from 1 to 4," and everybody said, "Okay." So it's not like they sat down and said, if we do it at 1 to 4, then there's time for people to do this, or it works with something else, right? It was just I think it was just a place to start, and they did it. But I guess what that means also is, since they're not preventing anybody from doing anything, there's got to be opportunities of, lots and lots of people, because so many people are attending now. There's got to be all kinds of things happening. So there might be some potential opportunity just to go out and explore. Like, for example, I was just on Yankees show, right, with Matt, and his opinion on Hickok and everybody. So he's all complaining about Hickok going, and Iraqi veterans going. So those are different audiences, right? Big different audiences. You've got Diane Mueller, the ex-Tulsa police officer, who said will not comply in front of Congress committee the other day, and she's bringing a different audience. So with all these different people showing up, there's got to be all kinds of events or get-togethers. Like, somebody's got to be planning on going to the NRA museum, right? So just trolling around, looking around, maybe trolling is the wrong word, scrolling around, looking around, surfing around, the people that are going, there might be something to just try to archive all the different events that are happening, and then try to think about, whenever it happens, all those people eating lunch there, and how much gas was spent, and what effect it had on the economy, because there's got to be some influence from a bunch of people showing up. So I'm thinking about how we can be aware of that kind of stuff ahead of time, because I like the idea of it, but I'm not sure how to try to get all that stuff best.
So I found this. This is United States Capitol Police Guidelines for Conducting an Event on United States Capitol Grounds. And if you scroll down to props and equipment, it says props and equipment, other movable facilities reasonable, necessary for, and integral to the activity shall be permitted, provided that prior notice shall be given, yada, yada, yada. So you can bring chairs, tables, all that stuff, as long as it's okay. But it does say about, where was it, on signs? Prohibited areas. Hold on. I was just reading it. Timeline, number of applicants, duration. Okay, so it says that the following activities are prohibited by law: offering any item for sale, soliciting contributions, any form of advertising. So you can't do any of those things while on public grounds during, what would you call it?
Well, the advertising they're talking about is like buy a mattress or something like that. Not like I want to comply, not that type of signs.
That's not advertising. That's a political statement.
Yeah.
You're right.
But yeah. But yeah, they take that shit pretty seriously too.
Sound amplification. Okay, so you can bring bullhorns and stuff if that's the kind of thing you want to do. You can distribute literature, solicitation. Yeah, it just looks like you can't show up and sell anything. It doesn't say anything about searches or anything like that I saw.
No, because they're not gonna, like I said, they're not gonna search you unless it's like a J20 thing and there's an event going on in the Capitol that they're trying, like the State of the Union. For example, they'll cordon off a big area. So if you go into like the lawn, then yeah, they'll search you. But for a rally, they're not going to.
Yeah, it makes sense. It was a little interesting document. Yeah, I'm jealous. I've never been to DC before myself.
I've been to so many field trips in DC growing up.
Well, I mean, you live right there. It's like
Yeah.
how many times have I been to Denver? I have no idea. A million.
Yeah. Before I got married, I used to go to every single Caps home game in DC. Then I got married and had kids, and now I don't have season tickets anymore.
I mean, choices, I guess.
Yeah.
G, did you drop out?
No, I'm eating peanuts, and it takes a while to chew.
Eating peanuts and watching Captain Kangaroo.
So I know. I thought of someone that you'll know where it's at the Capitol. You remember that guy Adam Kokesh, who took an AR-15 to the Capitol
Oh, it was shotgun.
or a shotgun? Yeah,
He
that
loaded
was right-
a
that was
shotgun.
that spot where everyone like speaks and talks. Like they have a certain name for that area, like Speaker's Corner. It's something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he was, is at that spot. And like you can just go out there and basically preach, right? Like your message, whatever you want to say. So I would like to see some like 2A guys, like before and after the rally going up there, taking turns speaking, because, a lot of politicians walk by there. Like it gets all sorts of traffic. It gets media news coverage. Like, I mean, someone should be out there with the camera and film everyone going up there and sharing their thoughts. That's what better chance are we going to get than this place? Everyone coming out of it who's there for activism, right? To give them a place to actually really speak and put that on camera. I would love for someone just to set up a camera there and start recording folks. Going up there and speaking their mind.
That's a good idea. I also like the idea of walking around without guns, obviously, because you're not allowed to, but with empty holsters. Because I think the visual aspect of that, anyone taking a picture, any news article that's showing people walking around with empty holsters is a powerful message.
Or just like just a sling.
Yeah, exactly. Like a sling and an empty holster. Like no magazines in your mag pouches, I don't know. I forget whose idea that was. It certainly wasn't mine, but I like that idea. It was a good one.
All right. So how many thousand feet away from the White House is the nearest Walmart Supercenter? We'll just go left to right, if that's possible. Here, Tennessee. How many thousand feet away is the nearest Walmart Supercenter from the White House? Approximately. Hello? Is he here?
I'd say maybe 7,000. I don't know.
All right, Honda.
6,500.
All right, so undercutting him by 500 feet. Crump.
1,000.
Oh, 1,000, and then dead horse.
I'll say 2,500.
Oh shit! It's 5,000 ish. So I don't know who's closer. I think Honda's a little closer, maybe. I'm not going to do the math.
Well, if he did 2,500, he's 2,500 off. I did 6,500. I'm 1,500 off.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know if that's really 5,000. But yeah, I just looked and it's like barely 2 miles. There's a Walmart Supercenter.
Well, 2 miles would be 9,000 feet.
10,000 feet, yeah. It would be 10,000 feet. So Tennessee got it. I figured it'd be like right across the street or something, in one of those weird Walmarts where they have like multiple stories to them and stuff.
It is 5,000 feet. I'm just using the 1,000 feet off of the Google.
Oh, you're like as a crow flies.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea if you can just drive there or not. there's all kinds of lines and shit on this map.
Yeah, DC's not a grid.
What?
DC's not like a grid.
Oh,
So if anybody drives in DC, just be aware that a road might run into a building and then continue on the other side of the building.
Yep. That's my beef that I always had with it.
Well, we got Google now, so my experience with driving in it is definitely mostly with GPS, even crude GPS, and then now way better Google. And yeah, you know, you don't have that many issues. I mean, it's not perfect or nothing, but I know what you guys are saying, but I don't experience it because it, you know, I don't. It just takes me to wherever the hell I don't even know where I'm at half the time. But I also don't drive downtown very much.
Do you ever like know where you're going and you turn on the GPS anyway, and it gives you some like whack directions to get where you're going?
Mm-hmm. It's stupid. You can't really go by GPS. You can only get burned so many times by that thing until you start to get real skeptical. So you always want to look at the alternative routes. It's going to always try to go like whatever's less feet most of the time. So it's going to, you know, oh, this is 16 less feet, so it must be the better way. And it turns out that it's got you going through like 7 little small neighborhoods where you could have just taken the other route that takes 2 minutes longer, and it would have taken you down like 2 major streets in one turn. But Google sucks at taking you through neighborhoods and shit for no reason.
I had in my old Mercedes, I had the GPS. It was like back in like 2001, so like GPS was brand new, and I was taking it somewhere, and I was like, "Make your next left turn." So I made a left turn. They go, "Make your next left turn." Made a left turn. And it's like, "Make your next left turn." So it started taking me around in a circle.
Yeah, this one of the places I was visiting in Vegas, it took me to the back of it. It was like I don't know how to describe it, like buildings, kind of long buildings, and you know, what do you call it, like an industrial center, I guess, where it's like a whole bunch of automotive stuff. So you know, however much of the building they rented is how much, you know, of them was that address. Anyway, it took me to like the middle of all these buildings, like their back entrance where all their, you know, cars that are in the process of being worked on are all in a big like kind of lump. And I'm like trying to ask the dudes back there, like, where's the signage? Like, where is this place? And they're like, you're in the back. What the fuck? And to try
Was that when you went to Rifle Dynamics?
similar, but no, I was M13.
Okay, because Rifle Dynamics, the GPS took the guy to the back of their building.
Which is basic. I think those are porn. I don't know what they are. They just say like Studio A, Studio B.
Yeah.
Invite only or something.
Yep.
Pink is saying every time we can pick up Yankee from the Flamingo, it takes us down the employees' entrance.
One cool thing that'd be there is the Library of Congress is there and stuff, right? Someone could go there and do searches on 2A articles and stuff, and you know, might get more info for us on, you know, the history of the Second Amendment and, you know, different Second Amendment things that have come up throughout the history that's kind of been lost to history, maybe stuff like that.
I ain't driving halfway across. I'm not driving all the way across the continent to read no books. John can do that. He lives right there.
You know, a really cool place to go is the archives.
The Smithsonian Archives or the Library Archive?
No, the National Archives.
Yeah,
It's where they have the Declaration of Independence at, and
Oh, I've only been there a couple of times because
Constitution.
it seemed like there was always a line. You have to stand in line to look at the Declaration of Independence. But I didn't know there's other stuff there. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff. A bunch of historical like documents and stuff like that. It's really cool.
The Library of Congress has made many of its files accessible online, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a ton of it, but not everything. Especially, it's the difference between I'm reading the Constitution and standing in front of the Constitution is kind of crazy. Although it's not even that, it's weird because whenever I stood there, you have to like stand up on a thing, right, and look down into it, and it's kind of dark and creepy and lit weird so that it doesn't deteriorate. But last time I looked at it, I was a little kid, so I don't know what it's like now.
Same thing.
Yeah, so it's impressive, but I mean, if you were in the Library of Congress and you're opening up some like, I don't know, book that was from some kind of research you're doing, and holding the book versus looking at it online, it's got to be better to look at the book.
Yeah, the only thing about the National Archives is you have to watch out for Nicholas Cage. She's always trying to steal the Constitution.
Dude,
The
seriously,
Declaration of Independence.
like look for dudes with lemons and stuff.
Yeah, because there's a hidden map on the back of it.
No, when I went to in 2012, I did a tour of the NRA headquarters and the museum and the vault downstairs. And then when I went back there last year, 2 years ago, they wouldn't let me in the vault no more. So, and they wouldn't let me upstairs. So what I'm wondering is if the NRA is going to be hospitable or hostile to tours, because it's different people working there now, and
It's not their organization with the rally going on. Yeah.
well, that's the thing. I don't know if that's going to make them antsy or if it's going to make them eager or like they're going to need it, or maybe they're going to get swarmed with people bugging them because that's going to be a lot of people. I mean, think about it. Hickok, what kind of people is Hickok bringing to this? What kind of people is Tim bringing to it?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people if people like Hickok and stuff are going.
So, why wouldn't they go to the museum? And if they're busy just looking at the museum, my question is, I'm not anti-NRA. I like the NRA. I'm anti-Dick ruining the NRA, but I like the NRA and all the stuff it's ever done and what it has the potential to do. And I think we need battleships, and I don't want to see our aircraft carriers, and I don't want to see one of our big-ass aircraft carriers get sunk just because a bunch of people are too wimpy to push Wayne LaPierre out of the seat and a couple other people out of some positions and keep the aircraft carrier, right? But anyway, here and there, one of the things I'd like to do is look at the library again, because I haven't looked at the library since 2012, and then look at the archive again, not the archive, the whatever they call the inventory of guns down below, the
Arsenal.
and the vault basically. And it's been, there's a lot of people donate their guns to the NRA. They either don't have anybody to give them to, or they would rather give them to the NRA because they want them to be in a museum or something. And the NRA just can only put so many guns. Their museum is okay, but it ain't big. It's okay. It's not big. The grocery store is bigger than the NRA museum. It's just not huge, and it's not densely packed. I've been to so many more museums. Actually, I have it somewhere. If I look over here, it's kind of almost ridiculous how few guns they have on display.
Out in Hawaii, there's a Army museum out there, right next to the Halikoa. That's where we stay when we go to Hawaii. It's like the military resort out there, and they have an Army museum that have tons of like military guns. So
It was amazing how much they packed into the Dragon Man museum. Like you couldn't take a picture without having 50 things in there that like you could spend all day looking at.
All right, so the NRA museum claims to have 3,000 guns on display. All right, so the Cody Museum claims to have 7,000 guns on display. Dodge City, Kansas, 200 guns. All right, not that many. The Chickamauga Battlefield in Chattanooga has over 2,000. Dragon Man claims to have a number that I won't say because I'll make you guess that one. Let's see. The Dug Up Gun Museum has 1,000 guns, so that's just one guy's collection. The I don't know. I haven't estimated how many the Texas Ranger, but it's not that many. Rock Island Arsenal has 1,200 guns on display. 45th Infantry Museum, they say it just has 1,000 guns, or less than 1,000 actually. The New Mexico Museum has just 200 guns on display. And the big one is, well, I guess the one in Missouri that I haven't seen has 1,000 guns. And those are all like sporting guns. And then if I can find the big one here.
How do you have all this information?
It's all in the almanac. I just had it all written down.
Oh, okay.
The J.M. Davis has 12,000 guns on display. So Dragonman says he only has, well, he says he has a number, and then that's the range. Oklahoma City, 45th Infantry Division Museum, one of the best museums, 1,000 guns. You got your NRA Museum in New Mexico, 1,000 guns. You got your NRA Museum in Virginia, claims to have 3,000 guns on display, and then J.M. Davis has 12,000. Question is, how many does Dragonman have? Tennessee. How many does Dragonman have on display? How many?
I'd say about 4,000.
4,000. Honda, what do you think? You've been there. Did you count them? You should have been counting, just like counting cards. If you lived there.
Dude.
C4.
Anything I'd say would just be a guess, because he has a ridiculous number of guns, but I can't. Thousands, 2,000 at least. We'll say 2,500.
2,500. C4 is saying 37,000. That's more than J.M. Davis. That would be unreasonable. John, what do you think? You've seen anything about Dragonman? You've been out to Dragonman?
No, I have not. 2,501.
Oh,
Price is right.
that's the way you do it. That's strategy. And I'm at Dead Horse.
Go 2,502.
I'll
Damn it.
say 1,100.
Oh, come on.
1,100? Wait, you mean 1,100?
Yeah.
Actually, that's reasonable, I guess. So the thing is, he doesn't have that much space, and he has way more than just guns. So the experience of Dragonman should not be like diminished by the number of guns, because it does kind of seem weak. Even though it's not weak, it's hefty, I guess. But anyway, the official number, and this was not easy to find, I had to dig around for it, is 3,000 guns. So he claims to have 3,000 in the museum.
Fucking price is right.
But again, Dragonman's is all owned by one dude. You're walking around amongst those 3,000 guns. Every one of them is basically loaded and not disabled in any way. It's a legit gun. And he's legit like interested in them. So if it's like in that one room, what does he say? If it's like, if it's not dated 1943, it ain't in this room. Or whatever, like, you know, that one big room is all, everything in there is the date is the same. So he's definitely got it hands down, even though it's not the biggest numbers.
Dude, Mel's a cool guy, and like the number of weird things that he has. He's got like World War I soap made from horse fat, like that was issued to people. He's got like latrines from the Korean War, like this is the stove that they had when, you know, the Battle of the Bulge, you know, like all those little things.
All the radios.
Yeah. Like
just
everything.
like all the radios.
Oh, and all the spotlights too. Like he had this one that had
well,
like
he didn't have all of them, but he has a shit ton of them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fine. But he had this one that had like a tungsten carbide rod that they would just like electrify, and it would glow at like 2 trillion candles or something ridiculous like that. But it was made to like see airplanes in the sky, you know, off a generator.
To blind them a little bit, so that when they look down, they're not looking at the city; they're looking at a big blinding light, right?
You know. I don't know. He has a lot of cool stuff though. or like the cyanide capsules, or the gas canisters, or
Cyclone B.
Yeah.
what else? Like he has the Nazi belt buckle. He's got serial number 1 Nazi belt buckle gun.
See, the thing is, he spends time in that room, and I've seen the tour on your video and others, and it's the same tour I've been on twice. So, I mean, he doesn't say the exact same stuff, but he says similar stuff all the time. And then people ask questions, and that, he'll riff off on whatever. Anybody asks him a question. That's why every tour is a little different. But he definitely paces it. And I don't think it's intentional at all. I think he just starts talking and then he gets behind and has to get faster. But I'd like to see a tour maybe go backwards or start in a different fucking room, because I don't really care about Nazi shit that much. And I want to hear him talk as much about Nam, where he was in, as much as he talks about all that Nazi shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Because I'm sure whatever room you put him in, he could sit there and talk for hours. I just would rather he start the tour straight into Nam and then talk about like Nam, modern. Actually, fuck the Nazi shit completely. I wouldn't even care. I've seen it enough times, but that would be kind of neat too if he could do something where he just goes in and spends an hour in each room, maybe.
I really like the
actually, he might have already done that.
The Japanese room was probably my favorite to walk through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, with the swords and he just was, more into it. Like, or I don't know, not because he's more into it. I just haven't had an opportunity to hear him say as much stuff about that stuff. And
I wonder if you guys could like contact him, and maybe he could do a thing like where one day a year it was like a special tour for the diehards. That was like maybe a whole day thing, right?
No, what I'm actually hoping. I hear you though. I'll let you finish on that.
I was just gonna say, like, for the diehard guys, where he really goes into more detail, and it's just not like the regular tour, where he goes into maybe a lot of the other stuff that he doesn't have time to cover in the regular tour. Just make it like a whole day thing for the diehards, like an RSVP event,
No, I hear you. That would be awesome, and I'm gonna definitely bug him about that, because I don't have his ear or nothing. But I figure if I keep going there, eventually he'll be like, "Oh, that's that guy that keeps coming here and telling me stupid shit." So, that would be awesome. I think I agree with that. But here's what I was going to try to do, because he's closed, right? He closes for winter and does stuff. And it's not like the museum disappears. So what I'm hoping is if I can go up there and bug him and get him to do it, is have him go in there live with us and just go live. And then people can go, "What's this?" And he could talk about it. And then somebody could go, "What's this?" And then he could talk about it. And just have them for like an hour or 2 hours or something, and just go live in the museum with Dragon Man. Done. And maybe like Honda, whoever else lives. Steel lives up there. There's some other people that live there. So maybe do just like a Gun Channels tour, where we just go in there with them, and the live people, people watching live, ask the questions, and we can post, poke the camera in, or hell, if there's 2 people in there, they could just have 2 cameras, right? We have 2 cameras to look at something from 2 different angles and shit. But like, he's got that half track with all the 50 ammo in it right before you get to the gas masks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear about Nazi shit. I want to hear about that half track that he put together. He finds these things like in the middle of nowhere. I don't think he's like, he's got a lot of money, obviously, but he's also super capable and like able and interested in like getting old shit and rejuvenating it. Is that the word? Like turning it back to good. And he's got these things that they like, this is the thing I found at the bottom of a lake, or some guy found at the bottom of a lake and it's all shitty. And then I found all the parts and stuck it back together and had to fabricate this. Like, I want to hear him talk for hours about that stuff. Like the adventure.
I'm curious, are his sons really into this to where they might take over the family business one day type of thing? Or is this just going to just die with
I think he just has the 2 daughters.
Or the daughters, or the daughters' husbands or whatever. Does he have is there someone next in line to take this over? Or is it just going to die with him?
It's so sexist. What if the daughters want to take it over? I think the daughters are going to take it over. Well, at least the one daughter works there, and I'm pretty sure she's going to take it over. Yeah.
He did ask me if.
All right, we'll talk later. Thanks for jumping in, John.
All right. See you later. Bye.
See you, man. He did ask me if I wanted to be adopted, and I did tell him yes. So
Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to have to end this thing too because I have some stuff to do before I start an adventure here. But we will have daily gun shows every day when I'm on the road. There's no point in not having them. So I'd like to throw out there a couple of things again. If you got a good numbering system, I need some kind of numbering system that maybe gets us up to the 900 mark on the second, or some other kind of numbering system to designate this tour or this leg of the tour. And then I've kind of posted up for Patreon. I think I've posted the itinerary. I'll be posting more maps and stuff with the general route. But I'd like to throw out there if anybody knows of, again, any gun shops that are cool, surplus stores that are worth going to that are, actual surplus stuff or interesting or unique or something. Old gun shops that have been there forever, or just super interesting in some way, large or I guess maybe small, but interesting. And then of course museums, so that we can make the most use out of this, whatever it's going to be, 99 hours of drive and $1,600 in gas, and get as much covered on the tour. I'll be efforting to absorb and archive and then distribute everything we discover on the adventure here, evolving that as we do these things. So again, I'm looking forward to going live, but I'm also not just here to be a window. I'm hopefully just a part of the conversation and bringing you all along. So really look forward to some interaction with the what I keep saying, a conversation, but the what we're doing here and helping me to evolve it. If you got something you can contribute to it, let me know. And I'll let these guys throw out anything they might want to plug or chat about. Before we head out, we're right around 2 hours for 2A here.
well, just if you haven't seen it, check out the Frog Chat. We go over conspiracies every week, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for having me on the chat.
Oh, second the Frog Chat. Tune into that. It's a great fun show. It really is.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, are in Antarctica this weekend.
Yeah, we're doing Antarctica. So we're going to go over all of the crazy Antarctica conspiracies that are out there, as well as kind of
Captain Bird or Admiral Bird.
Think about what might be there, kind of thing, and why are we not allowed to go there? Why you have to have like security clearance to be in Antarctica? You got to be an employee of the government to go there. Basically, is the way it works now, and why is that? And just kind of go into that one. But that's this weekend.
Right on, Tennessee. Got anything you want to plug or?
Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thanks for jumping in. And grab the link over on Gun Channels if you want to jump into this show or others. It's what Gun Channels is all about, community for conversations like this one. So again, be on the road here for the next couple of weeks, experiencing some of this interesting stuff we've got going on in 2019. I want to thank again people watching and listening and staying up. I think I'll stick with the same time frame. We'll see. Give me some feedback on it. Probably should get